Hello everyone. So, I got a request to react to Stephanie Keto Person. This video is actually not too long, but I have to speed her up. She's unbearable. So, let's get to this. You'll see why I'm reacting to her in a moment.
Welcome to my channel, guys. So today I'm going to go over protein amounts because I started cooking a ribeye and I was like, you know what? People need to get a visual of what this looks like. How much protein should you consume? And what about the fat? What fat am I going to use tonight? So let's go check it out. Okay, so we got ribeye cooking right here. And I'm very lucky because there is a family that's around the corner and they have a cattle ranch. And so they gave me free ribeye. Look at that, grass-fed, freaking amazing. They gave me a ton.
Now, right away, this doesn't seem, anti-carnivore, but you'll see. She's keto. She is not carnivore. Not carnivore. She says that she's carnivore. She says she's a carnivore expert. Honey, you're not. And we'll get to why.
Of red meat from cows, grass-fed. What I do is I like to save my pork fat from making pork belly. And if you guys can check this, I'm doing this with one hand. If I just go and I drizzle this on my ribeye, that's not enough fat. I don't care. I've already put a lot of fat here, as you can see. I don't care if I put 20 tablespoons. This is not going to count as my total fat trying to reach 200.
If you're eating like 200 grams of fat and only like 24 grams of protein, I don't think that's even close to enough in terms of your fat to protein ratios. I really don't. That sounds very... I don't care if it's absorbable protein. Think about this. If you add, let's say, the measurements for something that, like, maybe you're making, you need 1 cup of something to equal, to make it equal to another cup of another thing. Would it work if you just added a teaspoon? No, you need a full cup. You need a cup of each, right? And if it's, right, so it's the same. I think with carnivore, you have to try and make the amount of fat equal to the amount of protein. Because otherwise you're going to get problems with your muscles and stuff. Look, if I don't have enough protein, I think I get tired and stuff. But if I don't have enough fat, I also get tired. I don't know. There's something. I feel like there's something. I don't know.
Marbling.
I feel like I lose, I don't know. I don't think I've ever not had enough protein for my body size, though, so...
will count and what I add to the plate after I'm done cooking, but not actually what's in the pan. I'm going to be using some...
I get weaker, I think, is what happens. Because, I've had fat before without protein, and then I'm kind of running almost like I'm on a drug of some type or something.
Redmond's real salt. And be careful for those who have histamine reaction.
This is where she screws up.
Some coconut aminos.
Not carnivore, not carnivore. So, I don't even think coconut aminos should be eaten, period. I don't know how they make them, but I don't know.
And we're done. And we're good. Now, let's talk about the sizes, the portion sizes, because y'all getting it wrong.
I don't think anybody's really getting it wrong. Let's be real. Now, if you need a little more fat, add a little more fat. I think I need more fat than I realize. But if you're eating, what would be... Let's round it to 25 grams of protein versus 200 grams of... that's only like around like 12%. No, if it's 24, it's exactly 12. It's only 12% of your calories from protein, of your nutrition rather, because calories are heat. I gotta try and remember that. 200 grams of fat and only 24 grams of protein. You'll see where I'm getting the 24 grams.
So both of these steaks are about 8 ounces, and they're quite thick. You actually see it's quite thick. So I often use my hands, right? If I have my hand over it raw, I mean, it's thicker, so we have to include the thickness. It should be about the thickness of the palm of your hand. I can only film. So on this side, and it's still a little bit thicker than that. What I'm going to do is have about, let me see if I can use a fork. By the time this is about 4 ounces right here. Because there's a lot of fat, then my protein count probably, at this much protein is going to be about 20 to 24 grams of protein. And that's my max for my particular body.
It's not a max for anybody. Don't eat this tiny little amount, especially if you're older. Like, what are you doing?
Food for receptor development, my muscle development, my insulin, and my blood sugar. A lot of you guys can't even eat this much. Then you're going to have to break that down into half this amount.
Your body takes care of it. I wouldn't be surprised if she's hungry all the time.
As a size for your meal. Now, men who are quite active can eat.
Probably after every 4 hours or so, she's probably hungry again.
This whole sucking thing, because look how much fat is in it. So use your hands. Often people don't know how to measure their meat. This totally is too much protein for me. Even though my hand is pretty much covering it, that's too much protein. This is still about 8 ounces because of the thickness of that protein. And bam!
Did you imagine only eating 8 ounces of meat? I don't know if she eats that much in a day, but especially for her body size, I don't know how many meals she eats a day, probably several. If that's the case, then maybe she's getting enough, but I can't follow this woman. I can't. Not after some of the live streams I've seen.
Voila! Here is a perfect dinner for Steph. You guys want to see what I eat in a day? Well, let's start with dinner.
Keto dinner. Not carnivore dinner. Shut up about the carnivore.
So we have marbled ribeye. Excuse my stupid RV plates. Okay, because I like a little raw in the middle. I got my avocado for potassium. I have
carbs. Right away. Avocados have carbs. So, right away, you are not carnivore.
45 grams of butter, plus add another 30 grams of pork lard, putting me about 70 grams of fat total added, plus the marbled fat, plus the protein, plus the avocado for potassium.
Meat has potassium. Eat more of it. Way more of it. You're not carnivore. This is not carnivore. You're not a carnivore expert. If you were a carnivore expert, you would be eating all meat and trying to tell us how to do it. But you don't know how to do it. Stop saying you're a carnivore expert. You're keto, okay? Stop saying you're a carnivore or a carnivore expert. Don't ever stop. Just stop. Okay? Shut up. Take carnivore out of your gosh dang title, because you are not carnivore.
Remember, you guys, when you're fixing a meal, think about your macros.
I'm not even really saying that I'm carnivore, but now I don't eat fiber, but I drink certain things that have carbs. And on the rare occasion, I will have things that have fiber. I will eat some things that have carbs. But I'm really not crazy. It's only like very small amounts. Okay? Very, very small amounts. So, technically I'm carnivore, but I'm not actually. Not like fully. I might try to be. I'm thinking about it. I've really been thinking about it. Because I want to go in full force. You're not carnivore.
About the fat. Think about the protein.
I'm glad keto is still in your name, but stop titling your videos carnivore expert, carnivore foods, carnivore this, carnivore that. Avocado's not carnivore. Coconut aminos aren't carnivore.
Think about the fiber.
Carnivore doesn't need fiber. I had a bowel movement earlier. What does that tell you?
Avocado. That prebiotic fiber plus...
By the way, I learned from Dr. Berry that through some gut damage, like and diabetes that could be starting up in your body, you can get gastroparesis, which does cause some level of constipation. And somebody else had actually asked the question in one of his streams. And I'm like, maybe this is why. I'm thinking this has to be why I'm having problems with my gut. And you know what? I think it's actually starting to heal because I'm having more and more bowel movements as time goes on. So, yeah, they're still not as great as they should be, but I'm having them a little more frequently. But I'm also trying to up my fat and, things like that because I need the fat. It's not fiber that makes you poop. I mean, it can, but you know what it also does? Clog you up or make you have diarrhea. There's never a happy medium.
Your electrolytes. So I have salt, I have Himalayan salt, and I have avocado for potassium.
You don't need avocado, you dipstick. Narcissistic dipstick. I'm sorry. Confess that you're still keto. I don't care. I wouldn't mind this so much if you just said keto expert. I wouldn't care so much, okay? But you're saying carnivore? Shut all the way up.
This is how you guys got to get it right.
No, never.
Peace. If you want to learn more, go to stephanieperson.com. If you want to book a consultation, go to stephanieperson.com.
Do not book a freaking consultation with her. She's calling herself carnivore.
To join my course, where I cover all 3 diets, low carb, high fat, keto, omnivore, and carnivore.
What? There are only 2 diets. Keto is omnivore.
stephanieperson.com. My Instagram is Stephanie Ketogenic, and I also have a sponsor. It's my sponsor called Let's Get Checked. If you guys want to check your blood sugar, especially the A1C, pretty interesting. And it does matter. Some of them out there say, oh, it doesn't matter. Ooh, it matters. Peace. Yum.
Yep. Loving that coconut, loving those carbs. I can't even watch her streams halfway through, but she's calling herself carnivore expert. No, you are still keto and you will always be keto, but you're cramming fiber down your gosh dang gullet, and I just stop it. Just stop. You are not carnivore. You're no carnivore expert. You know nothing. Go up north, talk to the Inuit, listen to what they tell you. I will guarantee you they're not saying I'm eating avocado and coconut aminos. Not the true Inuit, not the ones that still eat their traditional diet. I guarantee you they're not doing that. So, please unsubscribe from her. This is ridiculous. I don't even know why people support this woman now that she's calling herself carnivore. You're not carnivore. Shut up. You're still keto. I wouldn't mind it so much, and I wouldn't be harping on this so much if you just stop trashing carnivore. No one believes you. Shut up and stop it. All right, guys. I'm done. I can't with this woman. I'll see you later. And just shows you another woman who's addicted to carbs. Carbs, 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 carbs. You aren't carnivore. You never will be carnivore. Just admit it. Don't care, but just admit it.